Hello everybody and welcome to part 20 of my Inca El Dorado series. Might be a good time to start getting ready for war. Um, the Poland had wiped out America, so if we liberate that city we'll have a friend for life and we'll look real good on the world stage. So in a way it's actually good that we are reining in the social policies, because then we can open up the honor tree to get a great general as well as discipline. Usually Wario Code's so good because of the 15% production when training melee units. I don't know how much we're going to be needing to do that though. So it'll just be to get us a great general and discipline so that we're more effective at what we do. Anyway, so we left on the cliffhanger of which city-state to buy, and I was leaning towards the faith generator because I've played the religion game poorly this series. However, I think knowing that we are probably heading towards war, it might be worthwhile to look at one of the city-states that is bordering Poland, who is right now at war with Sweden. So Brussels is looking really good because we'd be able to pull them off of Sweden. I don't know what's going on there. We do have a spy in there, but we can actually pull that. Maybe send it over to Buenos Aires. Although it says 13 turns, I don't know. We're only friends for 11, so yeah, that's about right. That's about right. So yeah, let's go ahead and drop some money over here. 500, 1,000, same thing really, same exchange rate. We would only need the 40. So we could always just do that and then come back at a later time and do 40 again if that's something that needed to be done. We only need the 500, so I'm kind of willing to do that because we do have expenditures on the horizon, right? Like we do have units to upgrade into cavalry, we do have units to upgrade to artillery. After railroad, we might as well go navigation. So we'll get some Galeas and stuff going simply because we know that Poland has something of a navy. We've been seeing a few boats. I think even a couple Galeas, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we should up our game a little bit, and hopefully our city-state friends will get us coal by then so we can upgrade to ironclads and get a factory in T1. Alright, so World's Fair is over, which is awesome because this culture boost along with, let's see, oh, okay. I didn't realize that they stacked. I thought being first we would just get this, but this little yellow icon here suggests we're also getting the second place. So that's interesting. I guess, okay, I guess you just have to reach these plateaus to get these rewards, and then whoever puts in the most. Okay, I learned something here. So that's nice. We actually get another social policy. So cavalry is an option, so we'll do this. And I've somewhat relegated myself to the fact that this Mayan prophet's not going to go anywhere. Where did he go? He's right here. He's been buzzing around. He's not going anywhere. Obviously, we're going to move our units away from our cities so that we can... Because Poland looks like, just because of the fact we share borders, it's going to be like a three-front war. I think we have the strength to accomplish that, but it will mean dropping the encirclements on our cities so that Mayan... prophet will probably convert one city. We've already looked at his religion. It's not desirable. He's got mosques, but at this point that would be a waste of faith. It would be a waste of faith even if they cost 200, but now they cost 600 because of the era we're in. Anyways, let's open up that honor tree so we can get some buffs to our military. Okay, that doesn't matter to me. Let's go with the Great General first, and that way if we do decide to spend the time producing some units, because we could do that if we really wanted to, start producing some units and keep the encirclements, like only move units off as we can keep that barrier going, but that seems, I don't know. I guess it depends on how these cities fare, because we have units that have 70 military strength. There's 24, 22, and since this has been conquered, even though it's a capital, it's been weakened. So who knows? I'm not very well versed with late game warfare, but I kind of don't want to build melee units because we have so many of them, and that standing army is going to cost us over time. Okay, so this tile is available now. Pardon me. You know, I should probably start talking a little bit before I record these just to get the hacking process out of the way. You know what? If we're going to war, let's do lump sums from here on with this guy. In fact, let's try to just take all of his money. This would be 135 at 45 apiece, so let's just take it all. There we go. That'll help us to buy other city-states as well as military upgrades. Yeah, so there's that. Mayan Ottomans now friends. Okay. Alright. So on to dynamite. I think railroad's still worthwhile to pursue. Although maybe we take a jog for navigation, like take dynamite, then navigation, then railroad. That way we can get our boats up. Because frigates, I'm told, are just incredible. And if we're going to war... Well, how much time do we have? We have 10 turns until the friendship falls off, which means 10 turns until we can denounce. And in 10 turns we can have all 3 of these. So maybe we can just go straight to railroad. No. I probably will take navigation before railroad. Just because if we can actually build frigates instead of having to pay to upgrade our one Galeas, that seems like that would be preferable right now. Because then our money could go to like buying this city-state, you know, buying this one again if that's the way it's got to go. I think it's lofty to expect we can get Almaty in the mix as well, but just anything that would get, you know, add more units to the fight and not add more units that would be against us. So let's just move this guy towards where the fighting would be, but like in a way that doesn't make us have to disrupt the rest of our plans. Because these cavalry are so strong and so fast, if he's going to just leave these... Okay, never mind. I was going to say, if he's just going to leave those scouts around, maybe we can use them to like run down scouts and then rush back up. I'm not familiar with this level of warfare, but even right this second, it just feels like we're so relatively overpowered that I don't think we have to put too much effort. Okay, so some city-states have been made peace with, but that's it. Crabs. As much as I'd like to just take all of his money, he doesn't have much. I'd rather go for like one of these guys. There we go. Let's see here. 154 is about 5, so we'll say 3. That's too much. So we'll say, what do you want? 3 and 141 apparently is the exchange rate. I didn't know that. Research lab in the capital. So we will have to pull off the ground. Same growth rate though, so I don't mind that. Let's see here. We haven't done stock exchange in this city yet, so let's do that. Well, no, we got 1 turn until Grand Temple. Let's just knock that out. The 8 faith per turn would be pretty fun. I think maybe what we should do is wait till this says that we've got about, I don't know, 3-4 turns left, and then just start funneling all our units over. Unfortunately, we have a river here, and we have a large number of shared tiles here, so I don't want to, you know, spark his interest. So, like, I don't want to occupy these 3 tiles here. I wouldn't want to occupy any of these 4 tiles here. So, as far as setting up, we're gonna have to be a little patient. Alright, we'll just start moving the Great General that way. I'm guessing this will be the fight we could use the most help with. It is tied for the lead in terms of strength, and between rough and rivers and stuff, this is just going to be harder to reach. Okay, so let's see here. We do we? We do not have a worker there. So I'm going to move this worker here in preparation of the railroads. I believe we have one there, so Machu connection is covered. These guys, yeah, well, because we're going to navigation first. Actually, you know what? This really works out going dynamite to navigation, because that means the capital can start putting out artillery. I've always heard that artillery are a great unit to push. They have a indirect fire and a range of 3, which is a pretty deadly combination. I've never really had too much fun like that because I've never had this wonderful of a science game, so I've always, you know, been bored by the time I'd get there, and I'd try to get jumpy a little too early. But we've had tremendous growth. Our science game is just amazing, so this should be a lot of fun. And keeping in mind with that, let's go ahead and say we want stock exchange, but let's plan on building. We already have 1 would-be artillery, so at least 2, like 1 per front. Maybe another one. I don't know. I don't want to go all in because I don't really plan on like wiping Poland out. We'll take this to liberate that. This will be an easy city to take just because it's coastal and we'll have something of a naval force. Poznan being in between, I think we'll have to take that. So we'll be burning these cities down. I don't think we need to take Gdansk to head to Warsaw, but you know, we can look at that when we get near. Stole acoustics. Knock yourself out there, buddy. Iron Typical. Brussels seeks a great musician. We are working on those. Quebec City has a new ally. Don't much care. No longer friends with Geneva. Who is the ally? It was... okay. I figured it had to be one of those guys just because we were getting notifications of city-states getting involved. Okay, so yeah, we're not seeing those scouts anymore. They've buzzed off, which is good. So yeah, let's get this great general over here. There we go. And worker's just going to go to sleep. He's just there in preparation of the railroads, right? Because there's nothing. Nope, we do have gold here. I don't know when that came into our borders, but I'll get started on that now. Take 6 turns. That's enough time to finish it before we need to do the railroads. So... nicey nice. The only downside is we were already selling off all of our gold, and since Washington's knocked out of the game, we won't have a need for this. But we are about to start taking over some cities, so our excess happiness. See, this is something that I can't wait for this war, because this was something that had occurred to me earlier, that with all the gold per turn and all the happiness that we had, maybe it was a good idea to just go to war, absorb some more land. We only dropped to 4 cities. So, alright, dynamite is in effect, so let us go ahead and upgrade that guy. Might as well just finish this instead of building arts right now, because we're going to have 7 turns. Okay, so maybe 4-ish turns before we begin to mobilize. Takes 2 turns per artillery. Alright, we'll ditch to the stock exchange. We'll spit out 2 more artillery, so we have a total of 3, 1 for each front. That'll be a nice little starter pack. Actually, you know what? What I'll do is I'll start having this artillery head over here, because we do have a Gatling gun in the city that we can use to reestablish the block here. Let us go ahead and finish the stock exchange, and then I'll build an artillery with the intention of the one we already have, you know, being used for Washington. The one we're about to build can be used for Poznan. I don't know how much we're going to need one for Lodz, just because, like I said, we're going to have military. We could, in theory, have 4 frigates bearing down on the city. I think that might be overkill. So, But my point is that we have other ways to shoot at the city to weaken it up. And just out of my own curiosity, since I've never really gone this way, frigates have 28, right, so they're already stronger than the city. Yeah, so even just a couple of them should be really nice. Borders have grown. Okay, so let's choose research, navigation in 2, not 1. So the spill over. Oh wait, maybe it will be 1 because we got a research lab going up here, which we will populate. The other research labs are still coming. Yep, it's down to 1. Nice, that one little difference. Cool. Alright, so Galeas, 1 turn. Eee. I mean, we could pay to upgrade it. That's not a problem. And we're going to pay to upgrade this one too. What is the payment for that anyways, just out of curiosity? Galeas costs 180 to go up to frigate. That's not bad. 360, we still have over $1,000. Because that's the last of our military upgrades, right? We've did the artillery. Yep, just the frigates, and then these aren't units. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and just build a Galeas. And this way we can use this time in the meantime to like actually travel up there. Assuming coal's on time, we'll have a couple of ironclads as blockers. Probably benefit from 1 more because we'll have activity up here. So I'd like to still have a blocker. I mean, if only because of this. We do have cargo ships in the water. We're going to want to protect them. In fact, one's going to Melbourne. So yeah, maybe a couple more Galeas, or a couple of ironclads, or, you know, whatever we can actually get away with at that time. May purchase with faith. It's referring to a profit. You know what? These are my roads. No, I was going to say, what if I did buy a profit and then just used it? Because if I'm not mistaken, a prophet stationed in a city is just as good as an inquisitor. I think it's just too late to worry about this. Too late in the game. The other thing to keep in mind is the very first time he actually manages to... Oh no, our friendship with Poland's already working against us. That's unfortunate. And Sweden and England have... Oh man, city-states. Wow, okay. So I guess this is part of the reason why you shouldn't go too far into pleasing the AI. Let's see here. T1 has grown. We still have this wine tile, which now has fertilizer associated with it. And we can just pull off of that when the research lab comes up. Cusco has grown. Yep, I got this growth tile here. Let's just fill growth. Oh, wait. What's going on? I clicked on this and something got slotted, but it wasn't this. So, looks like we had a floater. I don't know when that came to be. I wish I had noticed it, though. New unit from Sidon, eh? Okay. Sidon is in awe of you. Alright, so that means they're not going anywhere as we prepare to declare war on Poland. So that's pretty neat. And we have yet another Gatling gun. Okay. Well, we'll just go ahead and put him in the city for now. Man, this shuffling of units is going to be something of a chore. Alright. It'll be fun, though, so I'm not too worried. We'll just put the general to sleep. I guess I keep getting queued for these guys because I'm hitting the wrong button. So let's see here. What are we down to? 7 turns. Good enough. Okay. So Galeas will come out. We will upgrade it to frigate and send it up north. Open borders. Sure. The Ottomans lost its capital, which is naval. Okay. So this...
The winds and the waves are always
You guys can let me know what you think, because I don't think this segment's going to run that long, but what this tells me, see, one of my, okay, there's a Galeas. One of my reservations, and here's a trireme up here, so yeah, we will need some boats. One of my reservations about going in on a navy when all we really have to fight is Lodge. Like, I wasn't too worried about it because I know he's got ships, and of course we have cargo ships, so if we can protect those and, you know, take over Lodge more quickly as a result, great. But then I was worried about what happens next. And now it looks like we have another coastal city that we could attack and liberate, you know, so that makes me feel a little bit better about that. Okay, research lab finishes just as the city grows. That is such a nice piece of timing. It's like, what, the second or third city that's happened in? Oh, wait, no, I guess that wasn't the growth, because this would not have said what it said. Alright. So, yeah, I think another frigate would be good to build. Hey, hey, look at this. We have coal. We have coal. Coal from Sidon. Coal from Monaco. Very, very nice. Okay, so what this means is let's go ahead and move our boat out, and while still on our borders, upgrade it to an ironclad. 270. Whew. We'll move our Galeas out and upgrade it. And same thing here. We'll move this out and upgrade it, and then move this out and upgrade it. So now we're looking at 2 melee boats, 2 archer boats. I'd like to leave 1 melee down here. We could have 1 melee for up here. Because I'm assuming an ironclad would just take a 45 versus trireme, which is 10. So I'm assuming we'd be able to one-shot that. The Galeas is not a problem because we would have at least 1 more ironclad, a couple of boats that could shoot. So, yeah. So I would want at least 3 ironclads total and 2 or 3 frigates. Right now we have 2 and 2. So let's have these coastal cities build 1 of each, and then we can figure out what to do from there. I'm assuming the ironclad has a higher hammer cost. Frigate is 185. Ironclad is 250. Yeah, so we'll build the ironclad here because this is our higher production city, and we'll build a Galeas here, or a frigate. 5 and 3. Oh. Okay, well, wait, what? An ironclad has a mobility of 3? Is that for real? Okay. This is news to me. We would have upgraded it from Caravel, which has a movement of 4. Okay, so the ironclad is slower. We do have the Great Lighthouse, so it would be more like 4. I'm just thinking maybe that means we build the quicker one down here, because we have time either way. So yeah, let's do that. Frigate down here, ironclad up here. There we go. So yeah, it is slower, but we're not going to be declaring war immediately anyways. We've got 6 turns before we can denounce them, and then so that means attack on turn 7, give or take. I want to test this out. That seems, ugh, that's so bad. Luckily we don't really have all that far to travel right now. When it comes time to move over here, if that's what we do, then yeah, we'll have to be a little more coordinated. On the other hand, the ironclad here, we would need an ironclad down here. So let me change my mind yet again. We'll build an ironclad here. We're building a ironclad there. So they'll both build an ironclad, and then they'll both build a frigate. Or this one will build a frigate. Maybe this one gets started on Sea Point or something. I don't know. We are going to head towards railroad, which means Neuschwanstein will be getting built down here. So yeah, ironclad here, Something that takes 1 turn into Neuschwanstein. And then ironclad frigate. That should be good. That should be good. Alright. Glad that got decided on. A lot of indecision there. Alright. The coal was right on time. And we have 2 remaining, so as soon as this final research lab finishes up, we can finally get them a factory. So all is going well as far as all of that is concerned. Okay, this artillery is ready to move. So there we go, and that means we'll pop this guy out of the city to block this, which we're not going to be able to do indefinitely. What I'll probably do is when I start breaking the circles, I'll watch for this, because our cities are so big, it might actually take... In fact, is that something we can talk to him about right now? No. This is what I hate about the religion thing, is that you have to actually wait for them to do something before you can say, hey, please don't do that. So when we break the circle, it's probably going to take this prophet more than 1 pop to hit these cities because they're just so numerous. Hopefully we can catch that, and then we can like tell him off before a city actually converts. These 2 cities definitely would take 2 hits. One of these, I don't know, but they have fewer followers, so they might fall on a single dose. We'll have to just keep our eyes on that. Unfortunately, he likes our capital better at this point, so... which is actually fine, because the main reason to be concerned about losing our religion is the production bonus, and the capital's so monstrous in that department that to lose some wouldn't be the end of the world. Okay, so we do have discipline. Those are the 2 that are really helpful under these circumstances. 7 turns. That'll be shortly after the war starts, so maybe we take this one. It was explained to me that part of the reason why this policy is not quite as good as it looks is because XP comes in chunks of 2, 3, and 5, I think he said. 5 for melee, 2 for archery, and I guess, what would 3 be? Naval, maybe? I don't know. But the point being that the odd ones do not get rounded up. So instead of getting 5, you get 7. So that's more like 40%. Not bad, but, you know. Anyways, Florence. Did we lose Florence? Anteater just seeks a great profit. Anteater, is that the one we paid for? No. But if we bought a great profit, they would be ours? Yes, they would. Right as we're getting ready to declare war against Poland. That's not terribly useful. Maybe when I go to declare war against England to liberate the Ottoman capital. I don't know. Getting a little ahead of ourselves, but what else is going on in the world today? Losing. This is like reading the morning paper. Only this is accurate. Okay, so we did lose Florence, which right now the culture, the loss of the culture, drop in the bucket, so whatever. They've actually taken this. I believe this was a Polish. Yeah, it says right here. So the fact that they have it now, whatever. It was nice that when we paid for this, we kind of pulled it off of Sweden. Okay, so now it is time to build an artillery. Right, what else would we build? We did the Grand Temple. Cool. Alrighty. Yep, we can build the artillery. Okay. Alright, so the fact that an ironclad's being manufactured means these boats can just go about their merry way. Look at that. Movement for days. Wait a second, this guy's got... Okay, so how are we able to move this far? It literally says right there 4 out of 4. So I want to see this. Okay, so the shallow water counts as half? Is that what I'm seeing? But only for the ironclad. Because this seemed to have furthest movement even in the deep. Wow, I'm so confused. Hey, look, they actually benefit from discipline. I didn't realize that. Double movement in coast. Okay. Okay. Withdraw before melee. I have no idea. I don't understand what I'm seeing. A very powerful naval melee unit, the Ironclad pays for its strength by being slower in ocean tiles. Slower in ocean tiles. Okay. And that's portrayed by having a slower movement overall, but a buff that moves double. So yeah, that's worded real weird. It's weird to me because this withdrawal thing seems like a holdover from the slinger, right? But obviously a archer melee isn't the same as or an archer land unit isn't the same as a melee naval unit. So I have no idea what's going on. Okay, we'll move him to that city there, and we'll get the artillery coming over here. That works. That works. That's a pretty good arrangement to have anyways. Alright, so let us actually just move along the coast here, get some eyes out here. So, double Galeas and Trireme up here, and another Galeas. Okay. And, unfortunately for us, his Galeas cannot... Well, he can skip over us. He's allied with them, right? Yes. So he has visibility here. He'll be able to jump past us. And I hope that he will, because we would like to be able to... Alright, so these guys have 6 movement. Because I have the Great Lighthouse. Okay, so it'll be helpful to keep eyes on these boats to kind of have an idea of where they're going and where they're at, I think. Okay, we're building an ironclad for defense down here. We're building an ironclad here. And then probably frigate in Olan. And we should be good to go with the Navy front. I apologize for my inexperience. This was all kind of a surprise to me. You guys tell me, is that whole retreat thing, is that normal for an ironclad? I had never heard of that on a unit except for slingers, so my inexperience is showing up. And look, these guys are still buzzing around. Let's see here. It says 5 turns, so yeah, maybe when it says 4, maybe when it says 3, we'll start mobilizing. It'd be nice if this was buzzing around Machu rather than the capital, but whatever. Anyways, we are past the half-hour mark. Not a lot of progress at this point. My bad, I had a lot of reading, a lot of prepping to do. We're basically transitioning from peaceful to war. And then, of course, a naval war, which against England is somewhat risky, but I think technologically we're just up there. In fact, let me look that up. Ship of the line, I believe, is what their unit is called. Replacing the frigate. Okay, so it's their version of a frigate. More range. So 30, 35, and our frigates would have... okay, so 30, 35. So plus 5, plus 7. That's plus 20%, plus 25%. Okay, so not to be taken lightly, but that doesn't compare to 45. So, yep, we would be favored there, depending on number. This is interesting to see, and yet another reason why I would like to have an ironclad for defense of Machu. Yep, alright. So anyways, thank you guys for joining me along with this. Any tips you have, anything I'm overlooking, please include that now, because this is going to be pretty slow going, I think. A lot of decisions to make, which is fine. Poland's been I shouldn't say running away, but Poland's been a bully. They've been militarily strong. We've overpowered them. Our sciences, I mean, we can produce in the back. I mean, we got this. It's just a matter of how do we do it. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Take care.